Hey Flutes, welcome back to our final part of Teaching Through Repertoire on Galactic Adventure. This is part 6. We're going to go through measures 49 through the end. As always, we'll do clapping, counting, naming our notes, and then we'll play through this passage. First thing, we want to recognize that measure 49, we've already seen this before. It's just like measure 13. So if you're really comfortable with 13, you should be learning this really fast. And then 17 or 53 is the same as 17. That whole little section, you're just really repeating the same thing we already did back at measure 13. So we should get this one down really fast if you spent the time on measure 13 like you were supposed to. The only thing that'll be different, measure 57 to the end is a little coda here, a little extra ending that we haven't done before. So we'll go through that too, but these first few bars should be nice and easy because we already know them and they're in our brain. So here's measure 49. We'll clap, count. We're going to go all the way to the end. 1, 2, clap and count. 49 and ta, 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 ta dee ta dee ta, ta, ta dee ta dee ta, ta, ta dee ta dee ta, 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 ta dee ta dee ta, 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 ta. Ta, ta, off. The only thing that's different there that we haven't seen maybe before is we have that tie over to an 8th note. And that's just to get us to go all the way to the downbeat of the next measure before we stop. They're going to stop right there together. Nice, clean cutoff, big, triumphal ending. One thing that's not different, never mind. So again, 49 to 57, we should have down. We should be really confident with that, but we'll go ahead and do our note naming and fingerings anyway, because you can't ever practice too much. So there's 49 note names and fingerings. So 1, 2, ready, and G, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, A flat, 2, 3, 4, G, F, C, 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 D, D, E flat, C, G, G, F, F, E flat, C, C, D, D, E flat, G, 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 F, E flat, D, C, D, E flat, F, G, C, off. How'd you do? Did you feel good about that? The last 4 bars, like I said, are different, but it's just half notes and whole notes, so it should be pretty easy for you to get your note names and your fingerings down and get those moving fast. The hard part will be putting enough air through that last section to get through it all. There's nowhere to breathe starting in measure 52 all the way to the end, so you're going to have to make up somewhere to breathe probably. And the trick is to make sure you breathe somewhere where your neighbor's not, where other people aren't. So where we're doing this virtually and digitally, we might have to talk about it in class and figure out who's going to breathe in what spot. But normally if you're in a band, if you're in a group together, you want to listen and you just pay attention to each other and you make sure if there's nowhere to breathe that you do what we call stagger breathing, and you just pick a time to breathe when nobody around you is breathing, and then it never sounds like a breath is taken, and it's amazing. But even just the last 4 bars are going to be tough to make it through. So what's probably going to happen, you could probably breathe before measure 55 would probably be a decent place to breathe. And then probably in between one of those half notes. What you don't want to do is breathe before the last note. You want to make those last 2 whole notes nice and connected and as solid as you can be so that we end the piece strong and we don't hear any breaths in there. But if you breathe in between 1 or 2 of those half notes, and you know, especially if we try to line people up doing it at different times, nobody's going to notice. So let's try playing it, 49 to the end. Remember, keep that flute up during those rests. It's not enough time to put that down. Here's measure 49. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and you want to right off on the downbeat of that next measure. Da. And just let it ring, let it go off into space. If we could all do that and stop that last note together, it'll be the coolest effect. Once you've got that, you're done with the piece. You've got it all. The last thing we'll put up one play along track so you have the entire piece to play along with. But go through each of these tracks beforehand and make sure you're really comfortable with each section. Go as slow as you need, do it as often as you need until you got it down. Good job, Fluty Flutes. Happy noodling.